Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Imagine waking up with the power to change your mindset, your habits, and your life, starting right now. This video will show you the exact habits that successful people use to rewire their minds, crush their goals, and create lasting transformation. Every step in this video is designed to help you break free from old patterns and unlock your full potential. Stay with me until the end and you'll walk away with a blueprint to take control of your life and start seeing real change today. Don't miss out. Your best self is waiting. Number 1, take control of your thoughts and break negative patterns. Your life will not change until your mind does. Everything starts there. The way you think controls everything you do. Your actions, your decisions, your habits, they all come from your mind. And if your thoughts are working against you, you will never move forward. You cannot succeed with a mind that is holding you back. Most people don't even realize how much their thoughts are running the show. They wake up every day thinking the same things, feeling the same doubts, replaying the same problems. And then they wonder why nothing changes. But if you change the way you think, everything else will follow. Now, this isn't about positive thinking alone. It's about taking control. It's about deciding that you will no longer let negative thoughts dictate your life. You will no longer allow fear to stop you. You will no longer let your past mistakes define what you do next. The first thing you must do is become aware of what's happening in your mind. Pay attention to your thoughts. Most people go through life without realizing how much negativity they feed themselves. They tell themselves they're not good enough, not capable enough, not smart enough. And they repeat it so often that it becomes a belief. But here's the truth. You were not born with these thoughts. They were learned, picked up from experiences, from people around you, from failures, from disappointments. And if they were learned, they can be unlearned. You must catch yourself in the act. Every time a negative thought enters your mind, stop it immediately. Replace it with something stronger. If you hear yourself saying, "I can't do this," change it to, "I am figuring this out." If you think, "I always fail," change it to, "I am learning to succeed." If you think, "I'm not good enough," change it to, "I am improving every day." This is not just about motivation. This is about rewiring your brain. Science has already proven that your brain forms pathways based on repetition. If you constantly repeat negative thoughts, your brain builds a road for them, making it easy to think that way. But if you start repeating stronger, better thoughts, your brain will build new roads. And over time, the old negative patterns will fade away. Now understand this, it won't happen overnight. This takes effort. You must be relentless. You must be intentional about what you allow in your mind, because everything you allow shapes your future. And here's something most people don't realize. What you consume feeds your thoughts. The news, the social media you scroll through, the people you talk to, the music you listen to, everything is shaping your mindset. If you surround yourself with negativity, your mind will be negative. If you fill your mind with fear, doubt, and failure, that's what you will experience. So you have to clean up what you allow into your life. Be careful who you spend your time with. If the people around you are constantly complaining, doubting, and talking about why things won't work, you will absorb that energy. You will start thinking the same way. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, who push you to be better, who inspire you to take action. And if you don't have those people yet, start by surrounding yourself with the right knowledge. Read books that empower you. Listen to people who have done what you want to do. Fill your mind with success, with growth, with discipline. Now let's talk about the most dangerous habit, overthinking. Overthinking is the enemy of progress. It keeps you stuck. It makes you doubt yourself. It keeps you analyzing instead of acting. And if you want to take control of your thoughts, you have to break this pattern. The solution is simple. Take action. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting until you feel ready. Because the truth is, you will never feel ready. You will never have all the answers. But if you start moving, if you start taking small steps forward, you will figure it out along the way. Think about this. If you spent half the time taking action instead of overthinking, how much progress would you make? Most people waste years waiting for the perfect moment. They let fear stop them from doing what they know they should do. But successful people move forward even when they don't feel ready. They take action, even when they have doubts. You must learn to trust yourself. Every time you take action, you build confidence. Every time you push through fear, you weaken its power. and over time the doubts fade away. But there's one more thing, your emotions. Your emotions are connected to your thoughts. If you constantly feel unmotivated, uninspired, or stuck, it's because your thoughts are keeping you there. You must change the way you feel by changing what you focus on. Start your day with something that sets the right tone. Instead of checking your phone, start with gratitude. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Focus on what's going right. Then set your intention for the day. Decide what you will accomplish. This will put your mind in the right state. And don't forget movement. Your body affects your mind. If you feel stuck mentally, get up and move. Go for a walk. Exercise. Do something to change your physical state. This will instantly shift your mind. Now let's make this real. I want you to commit to this starting today. For the next 7 days, I want you to do 3 things. Catch every negative thought and replace it with a stronger one. Eliminate negative influences and start consuming positive knowledge. Take action on something you've been overthinking. Do this and you will feel the difference. Your mind will become sharper. Your confidence will grow. Your energy will increase. Because once you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your life. This is not about motivation. This is about rewiring your mind. And once you do that, success will follow. Because success starts in the mind before it shows up in reality. Change your thoughts, and you will change your world. Number 2, wake up early and start your day with a purpose. Waking up early is a decision that will change your life. It's a habit that separates those who take control from those who let life control them. If you want to create success, you must start your day with purpose, not by accident. Most people wake up just in time to rush through their morning. They hit the snooze button, drag themselves out of bed, and start their day reacting instead of leading. But successful people take control from the moment they open their eyes. When you wake up early, you give yourself an advantage. You have time to think, time to plan, time to move in the right direction. You are not scrambling to catch up. You are leading the day. And when you start with purpose, everything changes. Your energy, your focus, your productivity, they all increase. But if you start your day in chaos, if you wake up late and rush through everything, you carry that energy into the rest of the day. Now let's be clear. Waking up early is not just about getting out of bed. It's about what you do with that time. You don't wake up early just to sit there. You wake up early to take charge. You wake up early to set your mind right. You wake up early to work on your future before the world demands your attention. Most people say they don't have time to work on themselves, to learn, to improve. But the truth is, they do have time. They just don't use it. If you wake up 2 hours earlier than usual, you gain 14 extra hours every week. That's 56 extra hours a month. That's time that can be used to build your future. But instead, most people waste their mornings. They check their phones, they scroll through social media, they do things that don't move them forward, and then they wonder why they don't make progress. If you want to rewire your life overnight, take control of your mornings. Don't let your first hour be filled with distractions. Start your day with intention. The first thing you do in the morning sets the tone for the entire day. If you wake up and immediately check emails or messages, you are letting other people decide how your day begins. But if you wake up and focus on your goals, on your mind, on your body, you are in control. Your morning must have structure. You need a routine that prepares you for success. The first thing to do when you wake up is move your body. Get up, stretch, go for a walk, do a quick workout. This wakes up your brain and energizes you. It signals to your body that it's time to perform. The next thing is to feed your mind. Read something that inspires you. Listen to something that motivates you. Don't fill your mind with negativity first thing in the morning. Avoid the news, avoid distractions, avoid anything that drains your energy. Instead, focus on something that strengthens your mindset. Then take time to plan your day. Most people go through life without a clear direction. They react to whatever happens instead of deciding what they will make happen. But successful people know what they need to do before the day even starts. They have a plan. They don't wait for motivation. They create it. Now let's talk about purpose, because waking up early means nothing if you don't have a reason behind it. You need to know why you're doing it. You need a goal, something that pulls you out of bed with excitement. Without purpose, waking up early becomes a chore. But with purpose, it becomes a mission. Think about what you want to build in your life. Think about where you want to be in a year, in 5 years. Every morning, remind yourself of that vision. Look at your goals, write them down, visualize them. This keeps you focused, keeps you driven. And if you don't have a strong purpose yet, create one. Set a challenge for yourself. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's getting in the best shape of your life. Maybe it's building a business, writing a book, improving your mindset. Whatever it is, make sure it excites you. Make sure it pushes you. But here's the key. Consistency. Waking up early once won't change anything. Doing it for a week won't make a difference. But making it a habit will transform your life. The first few days will be hard. Your body will resist it. Your mind will try to talk you out of it. But if you push through, if you stay disciplined, it will become natural. Your body will adjust. Your mind will adjust. And soon waking up early will feel normal. And when that happens, you will have unlocked something powerful. A level of self-discipline that will affect every area of your life. Because discipline in one area leads to discipline in all areas. But let's address the common excuse. I'm not a morning person. The truth is, nobody is born a morning person. It's a decision. It's a choice. And you can train yourself to wake up early, just like you can train yourself to do anything else. If you struggle to wake up early, start by fixing your nights. Go to bed at a consistent time. Avoid screens before bed. Create a night routine that signals to your body, it's time to rest. If you get quality sleep, waking up early becomes easier. And if you still find it hard, remind yourself why you're doing it. Think about what's at stake. Think about how much time you're wasting by sleeping in. Think about the opportunities you're missing. The truth is, your future depends on what you do today. And if you keep waiting for the right time to change, you will never change. Now imagine this. What if you made this a habit? What if, for the next 30 days, you committed to waking up early with purpose? What if, instead of wasting your mornings, you used them to grow, to improve, to build something meaningful? How much progress would you make? How much stronger would you become? The answer is simple. You would transform. Your focus would sharpen. Your energy would increase. Your confidence would grow. Because when you take control of your mornings, you take control of your life. And that's what this is all about. Control. Most people let life push them around. They wake up when they have to. They do what's required. They follow routines that don't serve them. But successful people take charge. They decide how their day begins. They create the momentum. So what will you do? Will you keep hitting snooze? Keep wasting time? Keep waiting for change? Or will you take control, wake up early, and start living with purpose? The choice is yours. But if you choose discipline, if you choose action, if you choose to lead your day instead of following it, you will see the results. And once you experience what it feels like to wake up early and start your day on your terms, you will never go back. Because you will realize that success is not about luck, not about talent. It's about decisions. And the decision to wake up early with purpose is one that will change everything. Number 3, eliminate toxic influences and protect your mental energy. Your life is shaped by what you allow into it. The people you surround yourself with, the voices you listen to, the content you consume. All of it influences your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. If you want to rewire your life and create success, you must eliminate toxic influences and protect your mental energy. Toxicity drains you. It slows you down. It fills your mind with doubt, negativity, and fear. It stops you from moving forward. And most people don't even realize how much damage it's doing until it's too late. They go through life absorbing everything around them without questioning it. They spend time with people who bring them down. They engage in conversations that do nothing but spread negativity. They allow distractions to steal their time and attention, and then they wonder why they feel stuck. You must take control of what you allow into your mind. Every thought, every word, every interaction leaves an imprint. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, you will begin to think negatively. If you surround yourself with complainers, you will start complaining. If you let toxic people influence you, you will pick up their habits. That's how the mind works. It absorbs what it is fed. And if you're not careful, your entire mindset can be shaped by the wrong influences. The first step to protecting your mental energy is identifying what's draining it. Look at the people around you. Do they encourage you or hold you back? Do they challenge you to grow, or do they fill your mind with doubt? If someone in your life constantly brings drama, negativity, or excuses, that person is costing you more than you think. They are not just affecting your mood in the moment, they are shaping your future. It's not easy to distance yourself from toxic relationships, but it is necessary. You cannot grow in an environment that works against you. You cannot build discipline, confidence, and success while being surrounded by people who reinforce bad habits. If you want to reach a higher level, you must be willing to walk away from anything that keeps you small. Toxicity doesn't just come from people, it also comes from what you consume. The news, social media, entertainment, every piece of information you take in affects your mental state. Most people fill their minds with negativity first thing in the morning. They wake up, scroll through social media, and immediately expose themselves to stress, drama, and distractions. They start their day reacting to the world instead of focusing on their goals. And that sets the tone for everything that follows. If you want to rewire your life, you must control your inputs. Choose what you feed your mind with the same level of care that you choose what you eat. Garbage in, garbage out. If you fill your mind with negativity, you will experience negativity. If you fill your mind with inspiration, knowledge, and purpose, you will build a mindset that pushes you forward. Protecting your mental energy is not about avoiding challenges. It's about making sure that what enters your mind strengthens you, not weakens you. That means setting boundaries. It means being selective about where your attention goes. If something is draining you, remove it. If something is distracting you, cut it off. Every moment you spend engaging in negativity is a moment you could have spent improving yourself. One of the most important things you can do is audit your environment. Look at everything in your daily life and ask yourself, is this helping me grow, or is this holding me back? That applies to people, to habits, to entertainment, to conversations. If it's not serving you, it's hurting you. And if it's hurting you, it has no place in your life. Some people will resist this idea. They will say it's harsh to cut people off. They will say you should be more understanding, more patient. But here's the truth. Your life is your responsibility. You cannot afford to let someone else's negativity become your reality. You cannot afford to let someone else's lack of discipline weaken your own. If someone is not willing to grow with you, you must be willing to move forward without them. This is not about being selfish. It's about being wise. You cannot pour into others if you are empty. You cannot lift others up if you are being dragged down. The best thing you can do for yourself and for those around you is to operate at your highest level. And that requires mental clarity, focus, and energy. There is a difference between helping someone and carrying their weight. Helping someone means supporting them as they improve. Carrying their weight means sacrificing your own progress for someone who refuses to change. If you are constantly drained by the people around you, if you are always the one giving while others take, you will eventually burn out. And when that happens, nobody benefits. Not you, not them. If you want to protect your mental energy, you must learn to say no. No to negativity. No to unnecessary drama. No to distractions that serve no purpose. No to relationships that drain you. The more you say no to what doesn't serve you, the more space you create for what does. This is how you build a strong mindset. This is how you take control of your energy. You stop letting the world dictate how you feel, and you start choosing what influences you. You make sure that everything you allow into your life is aligned with your goals, your growth, and your future. Think about what you could accomplish if you stopped wasting energy on the wrong things. Think about how much mental clarity you would have if you removed distractions, negativity, and toxic influences. Think about how much stronger you would be if you only surrounded yourself with people who challenged you to become better. Now imagine making this a permanent habit. Imagine training your mind to reject anything that weakens it. Imagine waking up every day knowing that your environment is supporting you, not working against you. That is the power of protecting your mental energy. That is the power of eliminating toxic influences. And that is how you rewire your life. Number 4, challenge your fears and take bold action today. Fear is the number one thing holding people back from the life they truly want. It's the silent enemy that keeps you stuck in the same place, doing the same things, living the same way year after year. It whispers doubts in your mind, convinces you that you're not ready, and tells you that failure is too risky. And most people listen. They stay within the limits. Fear sets for them. They hesitate, they overthink, and they wait for the perfect moment, never realizing that fear will never disappear until they face it. You must challenge your fears. You must take bold action. You must stop waiting for confidence to show up before you move. Because confidence doesn't come first. Action does. The moment you step into fear, you take back control. The moment you push through discomfort, you expand your limits. That is how you grow. That is how you become the kind of person who makes things happen instead of just thinking about them. Most people believe fear is a signal to stop. They think it means they're not ready, that something is wrong. But fear is not a stop sign. Fear is proof that you're on the edge of something that could change your life. It's proof that you are about to grow. The only people who never feel fear are the ones who never step outside their comfort zones. And those are the people who never achieve anything beyond what they already have. Fear only has power if you obey it. The second you act in spite of fear, you weaken its grip. You realize that it was never as big as your mind made it out to be. You realize that the worst-case scenario isn't nearly as bad as staying stuck where you are. You realize that everything you want is on the other side of the fear you've been avoiding. So what is it that you've been putting off? What decision have you been hesitating on? What goal have you been thinking about but not acting on? Stop waiting for the fear to go away. It won't. You don't get rid of fear by avoiding it. You get rid of fear by stepping straight into it. The longer you let fear dictate your actions, the stronger it becomes. Every time you say, "I'll do it later," you reinforce the habit of avoiding challenges. And the more you avoid challenges, the more powerless you feel. That is how people lose control of their own lives. They stop taking risks, they stop pushing themselves, and they settle into routines that keep them comfortable but unfulfilled. You don't want to live like that. You don't want to look back on your life and see a list of things you were too afraid to try. You don't want to realize that the only thing standing between you and success was your own hesitation. If you know what you need to do, then do it. Stop giving fear a place in your decision-making. Stop waiting until you feel ready, because that day will never come. Action is the cure for fear. The moment you take a step forward, you break fear's control over you. The more you act in spite of fear, the more fearless you become. And once you realize that you are capable of facing fear and winning, you will never let it hold you back again. Most people think bold action means making huge, life-changing decisions overnight. But bold action isn't always about big moves. It's about consistently choosing courage over comfort. No matter how small the step, it's about proving to yourself every single day that fear will not control you. Courage is built through repetition. The more you do things that scare you, the less power fear has. Start small if you have to. Speak up when you normally stay silent. Say yes to an opportunity you'd usually turn down. Take the first step on something you've been putting off. The size of the action doesn't matter. What matters is that you are training your mind to act instead of hesitate. Fear thrives on hesitation. The longer you think about doing something, the less likely you are to actually do it. The mind starts overanalyzing, creating problems that don't exist, convincing you that you're not ready. That's why you must act fast. When you feel fear, move immediately. Before your mind talks you out of it, take action. Train yourself to be the kind of person who acts before doubt takes over. Fear doesn't just affect your decisions, it affects your entire mindset. When you let fear control you, you start thinking small. You stop believing in your own potential. You start accepting a life that is less than what you're capable of. That is what happens when fear wins. It doesn't just keep you from taking action. It keeps you from believing that you can. But the opposite is also true. The more you challenge fear, the more powerful you become. You begin to trust yourself. You develop the mindset of a person who takes control of their own life. You build the kind of confidence that comes from experience, not just empty motivation. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you create by proving to yourself that you are capable. Every successful person you admire had to face fear. Every single one of them. They had doubts, they had setbacks, they had moments when they wanted to quit. But they moved forward anyway. They took bold action when it would have been easier to stay comfortable. And that's why they succeeded. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is not talent. It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's the willingness to act in the face of fear. That is the single biggest factor that separates those who build extraordinary lives from those who settle. You must decide which category you will be in. You must decide whether you will let fear control you or whether you will take control. You must decide whether you will play small or step into your full potential. No one can make that decision for you. But one thing is certain: if you keep allowing fear to hold you back, you will never know what you're truly capable of. Fear will always exist. It will always try to stop you. But you get to decide whether you listen to it or ignore it. You get to decide whether fear is an excuse or a challenge. The only way to rewire your life is to train yourself to take bold action in the face of fear. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, because the sooner you stop letting fear control you, the sooner you start creating the life you truly want. Number 5, develop a rock-solid daily routine and follow it. Your daily routine is the foundation of your life. It dictates your success, your mindset, your energy levels, and your ability to stay disciplined. Without a structured daily routine, life becomes chaotic. You wake up without direction, waste time on distractions, and drift through the day, reacting to whatever comes your way. That's how people lose control over their lives. They never take command of their time, and as a result, they never build the habits that lead to success. A rock-solid routine is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. It's about eliminating randomness and replacing it with deliberate action. It's about ensuring that every day moves you forward, instead of keeping you stuck in the same patterns. Successful people don't leave their day up to chance. They don't wake up and hope they'll be productive. They follow a system. They wake up with purpose. They execute with precision. And they repeat that process every single day. Most people underestimate the power of a strong routine. They think motivation is enough, but motivation is unreliable. It fluctuates. It disappears when things get difficult, and it rarely lasts long enough to create lasting change. That's why routines matter. They keep you on track when motivation runs out. They ensure that you show up and put in the work, whether you feel like it or not. If you want to change your life, start with your routine. The small actions you take every day compound over time. If you waste your mornings, spend your afternoons distracted, and end your day without any sense of accomplishment, then your results will reflect that. But if you take control of your day, structure it with intention, and follow a disciplined schedule, you will see progress in every area of your life. Your routine must be designed to support your goals. It must include habits that push you forward, eliminate distractions that slow you down, and create an environment that keeps you focused. It doesn't need to be complicated. The simpler your routine, the easier it is to stick to. The key is consistency. You must do it every day until it becomes automatic. The most successful people in the world live by routines. They wake up at the same time, they follow the same habits, and they maintain discipline even when no one is watching. They don't rely on willpower. They don't negotiate with themselves. They follow the plan they set because they know that success is built on consistency, not random bursts of effort. Your morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. If you wake up late, immediately check your phone and start the day in a rushed, reactive state, you've already lost control. But if you wake up early, avoid distractions, and focus on your most important tasks, you take control from the start. That is why the way you begin your day matters. It determines whether you spend the rest of it being productive or playing catch-up. The first thing you do in the morning should be intentional. It should prepare your mind and body for the challenges ahead. Whether it's exercising, reading, journaling, or planning your day, make sure it aligns with your goals. Avoid wasting time on social media, meaningless entertainment, or anything that doesn't serve your growth. Discipline is built through repetition. If you skip your routine one day, it becomes easier to skip it again. And before you know it, you've fallen back into old habits. That's why you must commit to it every single day. no matter what. There are no off days when it comes to success. You either stay disciplined or you start making excuses. Most people never build a strong routine because they don't take it seriously. They treat it as something optional instead of essential. They assume they'll find time for important tasks later, but later never comes. The truth is, if something isn't part of your daily routine, it's not a priority. And if it's not a priority, it will never get done. Eliminate distractions. The more distractions you allow in your routine, the harder it becomes to stay focused. Every time you check your phone, scroll through social media, or engage in meaningless conversations, you weaken your ability to concentrate. Protect your time. Cut out the things that don't add value to your life. Be ruthless about what you allow into your schedule. Success is not about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. You don't need to fill your day with endless tasks. You need to focus on the few things that actually move the needle. Identify the key actions that will bring you closer to your goals and make them a non-negotiable part of your routine. Your evening routine is just as important as your morning routine. How you end your day determines how you start the next one. If you stay up late watching mindless content, sleep inconsistently, and wake up exhausted, you're already setting yourself up for failure. But if you wind down properly, review your progress, and prepare for the next day, you wake up with clarity and momentum. Your routine must be sustainable. Many people start strong but burn out because they try to do too much at once. A good routine is one that you can maintain long-term. Start small if you need to, but be consistent. The goal is to make productivity and discipline a natural part of your life, not something you have to force yourself to do. Most people struggle with routines because they rely on motivation, but motivation is not a strategy. You will not always feel like following your routine. You will have days where you're tired, unmotivated, or distracted. That is when discipline matters most. If you only follow your routine when you feel like it, you don't have a routine, you have a hobby. And hobbies don't change lives. Your routine should challenge you. If your routine is too easy, it's not pushing you to grow. It should stretch your limits, build your mental and physical endurance, and develop habits that force you to improve. Growth happens when you consistently do things that are slightly outside your comfort zone. That's how you elevate your standards and become the kind of person who thrives under pressure. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they need the perfect routine before they start. They overanalyze, tweak small details, and wait for the ideal plan. But the truth is, any routine is better than no routine. The key is to start now and refine it as you go. Perfection is not the goal. Consistency is. The most powerful routines are built around priorities, not convenience. If you only follow your routine when it's easy, you will never be consistent. You must design your routine in a way that makes it impossible to ignore. Make it a part of your identity. See yourself as the kind of person who follows through, no matter what. At the end of the day, your results will always be a reflection of your habits. If your routine is weak, your progress will be slow. But if your routine is strong, your growth will be unstoppable. The choice is yours. Will you take control of your time, build a rock-solid routine, and follow it with discipline? Or will you continue to let distractions, excuses, and randomness dictate your life? The answer to that question will determine where you end up. Number 6, speak only positive and empowering words to yourself. The words you speak to yourself shape your reality. Every thought, every sentence, every internal dialogue either builds you up or tears you down. If you fill your mind with doubt, fear, and negativity, you will start to believe that you are weak, incapable, and destined to fail. But if you fill your mind with strength, confidence, and belief, you will create a mindset that allows you to rise above any challenge. Most people are their own worst critics. They replay their mistakes, focus on their flaws, and reinforce their insecurities every single day. They tell themselves that they aren't good enough, that success is for other people, that they will never break free from their struggles. And what happens? Their life reflects those beliefs. They stay stuck in the same patterns because they have convinced themselves that change is impossible. But the truth is, your mind believes what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly feed it negativity, it will accept that as reality. If you tell yourself that you're incapable, you will act accordingly. If you believe you don't have what it takes, you will hesitate, procrastinate, and avoid challenges. But the moment you shift your internal dialogue, everything changes. The moment you start speaking to yourself with power, confidence, and certainty, you reprogram your mind for success. You cannot expect to win in life while speaking defeat into your mind. The words you use become the foundation of your self-image. They determine whether you face obstacles with courage or back down in fear. Every time you tell yourself, "I can't," you are reinforcing a limitation. Every time you say, "I'm not good enough," you are weakening your own potential. Stop destroying your confidence with negative words. Stop sabotaging yourself with self-doubt. Speak to yourself with the same encouragement you would give to someone you love. Imagine if you had a friend who constantly told you that you were a failure, that you would never succeed, that you weren't smart enough or strong enough. Would you keep that friend around? Of course not. But many people allow that voice to exist in their own mind every single day. They tolerate their own self-criticism, and they don't even realize how much damage it does. The first step to changing your mindset is refusing to allow negative words to exist in your internal dialogue. Your mind is always listening. The words you repeat to yourself become the reality you live in. If you tell yourself that you're disciplined, you will act accordingly. If you affirm that you are capable, you will move with confidence. If you declare that you are strong, you will push through difficulties without hesitation. This is not about false positivity. It is about training your mind to align with your highest potential. You must become aware of the words you use. Many people don't even notice how much negativity they feed themselves. They say things like, "I always fail," or "nothing ever works out for me," without realizing that they are programming their minds to accept those statements as truth. Pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Replace every negative sentence with an empowering one. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I will figure this out." Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I am constantly improving." Small changes in language create massive shifts in mindset. Success starts with belief. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else matters. You can have all the skills, all the knowledge, all the resources, but if you keep telling yourself that you aren't good enough, you will never take the action required to succeed. Your confidence is built through the words you use every single day. You must speak to yourself with the same certainty and conviction that you expect from someone who is destined to win. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about focusing your energy on what empowers you instead of what weakens you. You will face challenges. You will experience setbacks. You will have moments of doubt. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is how they speak to themselves in those moments. The weak reinforce their fears. The strong reinforce their confidence. Every champion has mastered this. They do not allow self-doubt to control their thoughts. They do not entertain words of defeat. They wake up every day and speak life into their vision. They tell themselves that they are unstoppable, that they are resilient, that they will push forward no matter what. They understand that success is first won in the mind before it is won in reality. You must develop this same level of control over your words. Stop saying, "I'll try." Say, "I will." Stop saying, "I hope." Say, "I am making it happen." Stop waiting for confidence to magically appear. Speak it into existence. The more you affirm your strength, the more you will embody it. The more you declare your success, the more your actions will align with that vision. Repetition is key. You cannot say something once and expect it to change your life. Just like training a muscle, you must train your mind daily. Every morning affirm your power. Every night reinforce your confidence. Every challenge you face, remind yourself that you are capable. Over time, these words become part of your identity. You are not weak. You are not a failure. You are not destined to stay where you are. But if you keep speaking those limitations into your mind, you will continue to live them. The choice is yours. You can keep feeding yourself negativity and stay stuck, or you can rewrite your internal script and rise to your full potential. Start today. Pay attention to your words. Eliminate every phrase that disempowers you. Replace doubt with certainty. Replace fear with confidence. Speak only what builds you up. The way you talk to yourself will determine everything about your life. Choose words that create the future you want. Number 7, make decisions fast and stop second-guessing yourself. Indecision, is the enemy of progress. The more time you spend hesitating, the more opportunities you let slip away. Success is built on the ability to make decisions quickly and commit to them fully. The longer you second-guess yourself, the more you allow fear and doubt to take control. The people who achieve great things in life are not the ones who wait for the perfect moment. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty. Every second spent overanalyzing is a second lost forever. Most people fail because they get stuck in their heads. They overthink every choice, weighing every possible outcome, until they become paralyzed by doubt. They tell themselves they need more time, more information, more reassurance. But deep down, they already know what they need to do. They're just afraid to do it. Fear of making the wrong decision keeps them trapped in a cycle of hesitation. They convince themselves that waiting is the safe option, but in reality, it is the most dangerous choice of all. When you hesitate, you lose momentum. You create unnecessary stress. You allow your mind to fill with uncertainty, which weakens your confidence. The most successful people understand that making a decision and adjusting along the way is far better than doing nothing at all. They don't waste time debating every detail. They trust themselves to figure it out. They move forward, take action, and deal with any challenges that come their way. That is the mindset of a winner. The truth is, there is no perfect decision. No matter what choice you make, there will always be unknowns. There will always be risks. But waiting for absolute certainty is a waste of time because it doesn't exist. The only way to gain clarity is by taking action. The more decisions you make, the more you learn. The more you learn, the better your instincts become. The faster you decide, the faster you grow. Every time you second-guess yourself, you weaken your ability to trust your own judgment. You reinforce the idea that you need external validation to move forward. But confidence is built through experience, not hesitation. The more you practice making quick decisions, the more natural it becomes. The more you trust yourself, the stronger your instincts grow. Stop waiting for permission. Stop looking for guarantees. Decide, commit, and move forward. Indecisiveness is a habit, but so is decisiveness. If you constantly second-guess yourself, it's because you've trained your mind to seek unnecessary reassurance. But you can rewire your brain to act with certainty. The first step is to stop overcomplicating things. Most decisions are not as life-altering as you think. The fear of making the wrong choice is often worse than the consequences of the choice itself. You must also recognize that hesitation drains your energy. The more time you spend analyzing, the more mentally exhausted you become. This exhaustion leads to even more indecision, trapping you in a cycle of inaction. The key to breaking free is to develop the habit of immediate decision-making. Set a time limit for every choice. Train yourself to decide quickly and stick to it. The faster you move, the more powerful you become. Think about how much time you've lost because of hesitation. How many opportunities have passed you by because you were waiting for the perfect moment? How many dreams have you put on hold because you were afraid of making the wrong move? The people who achieve greatness in life are not the ones who sit on the sidelines, analyzing every possible scenario. They are the ones who take action, adapt, and keep moving forward. Your ability to decide quickly is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. It is the difference between success and failure. It is the difference between progress and stagnation. Indecision is a silent killer. It destroys momentum, weakens confidence, and keeps you trapped in fear. The only way to break free is to commit to making decisions fast and standing by them. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust your ability to figure things out along the way. Stop waiting for the right moment. It will never come. The only way to move forward is to decide and take action now. Number 8, stay consistent with your goals and never skip a day. Success is not about grand gestures or occasional bursts of effort. It's about showing up every single day, no matter what. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who work hard for a week and then disappear. They are the ones who put in the effort every single day, even when they don't feel like it. The real test of your commitment is what you do on the days when motivation is gone, when excitement fades, and when everything in you wants to quit. That is when true discipline is built. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack consistency. They start strong, but when obstacles arise, they look for excuses to stop. They tell themselves they'll get back on track tomorrow, but tomorrow turns into next week, and next week turns into never. Every skip day weakens your momentum, making it harder to return. The secret to success is eliminating the option of skipping. No matter how small the effort, you show up every day. Your progress compounds over time. A single missed day might not seem like a big deal, but it sets a dangerous precedent. It plants a seed of inconsistency, making it easier to justify skipping again. On the other hand, when you commit to showing up daily, even with small steps, you reinforce your discipline. You train your mind to push through resistance. You build a habit so strong that skipping a day feels unnatural. That is how you become unstoppable. Excuses are always available. You'll always have reasons to skip a day. Too tired, too busy, not in the mood. But excuses are the enemy of consistency. The moment you entertain them, you weaken your discipline. The truth is, consistency is not about feelings. It's about commitment. It's about doing what needs to be done, regardless of your mood. Your feelings will fluctuate, but your commitment must remain constant. Success is built on daily actions, not occasional efforts. A single workout won't transform your body. One productive day won't build an empire. One great decision won't change your life. But the cumulative effect of consistent effort will. Every small step adds up. Every day you show up, you strengthen your discipline. Every time you push through resistance, you reinforce the mindset of a winner. Momentum is your greatest ally. The more consistent you are, the easier it becomes. The hardest part is getting started. But once you build momentum, your habits become automatic. Skipping a day breaks that momentum, making it harder to restart. This is why you must guard your consistency with everything you have. Never allow yourself to break the chain. No matter what happens, do something, anything, to keep the streak alive. Your goals demand consistency, not perfection. You don't have to be flawless. You don't have to give 100% effort every single day, but you do have to show up. Even on your worst days, you can still take action. Even when circumstances are against you, you can still make progress. The key is never allowing yourself to stop completely. Small effort is always better than no effort. When you commit to never skipping a day, you eliminate the need for motivation. You no longer wait to feel inspired. You no longer depend on external factors. You train yourself to act regardless of circumstances. That is the difference between those who succeed and those who don't. Winners take action, whether they feel like it or not. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. Your future self is watching. Every action you take today determines who you become. If you build the habit of consistency now, your future self will thank you. If you allow inconsistency to creep in, you will regret it. The choice is yours. But remember this, success does not belong to the talented, the lucky, or the naturally gifted. It belongs to those who show up every single day, without fail. Make the decision now. Stay consistent. Never skip a day. Number 9, cut out useless distractions and focus on real progress. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From social media to endless notifications, we are constantly bombarded with things that demand our attention. It's easier than ever to waste time and energy on things that don't contribute to our growth or success. The problem is, when we let these distractions take control, we steal time away from what truly matters: our progress, our goals, and our future. The path to success requires focus, and focus means cutting out the noise. If you want to make real progress, you have to learn how to eliminate the things that are holding you back. Most of us think we're busy, but what we really are is distracted. We fill our days with things that don't move us forward, and then wonder why we aren't seeing results. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life, but busyness doesn't equal progress. You could be busy scrolling through social media, checking your email for the 100th time, or watching videos that give you nothing of value, but that doesn't bring you closer to your dreams. These distractions rob you of time that could be spent on learning, growing, and taking action toward your goals. What's even worse is that distractions aren't just a waste of time, they're a form of procrastination. We avoid the hard work and real challenges by filling our minds with trivial things. We convince ourselves that these distractions are necessary or that they're harmless. But the truth is, they're costing us our future. Every minute spent on something that doesn't serve our purpose is a minute lost. And over time, those minutes add up to days, months, and years of wasted potential. The key to cutting out distractions is first acknowledging them. You have to get brutally honest with yourself and identify the things that are pulling you away from your goals. Is it the constant checking of your phone? Is it the endless scrolling on social media that adds no value to your life? Is it the news that only fills your mind with negativity? These are distractions, and they need to be eliminated. If you don't take control of where your attention goes, you'll never get anywhere. Start by creating boundaries. Set specific times for checking your phone, responding to emails, and engaging with social media. These things aren't inherently bad, but when they consume your time and attention without purpose, they become a problem. By creating boundaries, you protect your time and mental energy, ensuring that they're reserved for the things that matter most. The more disciplined you become with managing your distractions, the more you'll be able to focus on real progress. Another important step is to remove unnecessary distractions from your environment. If you're working on something important, don't let your environment sabotage your focus. Clear your workspace of clutter, put your phone on silent, and eliminate anything that isn't essential to your task. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to focus. If you're surrounded by distractions, you're more likely to give in to them. But if you create a space that encourages focus, you'll be much more productive. Next, make a conscious effort to focus on one task at a time. Multitasking is a myth. It's a lie that we tell ourselves to justify being distracted. The truth is, when you're trying to do multiple things at once, you're not doing any of them well. Focus on completing one task before moving on to the next. This doesn't just improve your efficiency, it also reduces the mental clutter that comes with juggling too many things at once. When you focus on one thing, you can give it your full attention and do it with excellence. Distractions are often a form of avoidance. We distract ourselves because facing the truth about our progress can be uncomfortable. It's easier to numb ourselves with mindless activities than to confront the hard work that we know we should be doing. But the truth is, avoiding discomfort only prolongs the pain. The longer you avoid what needs to be done, the harder it becomes to face it, and the more time you waste, the further away your goals get. Real progress requires discomfort. It requires you to push through the resistance and face the challenges head on. It's about doing the hard work, even when you don't feel like it. But when you remove distractions and start focusing on what truly matters, you'll realize that the discomfort isn't as bad as it seems. In fact, the more you embrace the work, the more rewarding it becomes. The satisfaction of making progress, no matter how small, is worth every bit of discomfort you experience. You need to understand that the world will always offer distractions. The key to success is not avoiding them entirely, but learning how to manage them. You'll never be able to remove every distraction, but you can control how much power they have over you. You can decide where to focus your energy and where to draw the line. The more you practice this, the better you'll become at cutting out the noise and staying focused on what matters. As you start eliminating distractions, you'll notice a shift in your mindset. You'll begin to value your time more and recognize the importance of making every moment count. Instead of letting distractions dictate your day, you'll take charge of your schedule and prioritize what's important. Your sense of purpose will become clearer, and your drive will intensify. With every distraction you eliminate, you create more space for progress. And with every step you take toward your goals, you'll get closer to the life you've always wanted. But it doesn't end there. Cutting out distractions isn't just about managing your time better. It's about aligning your focus with your purpose. When you focus on what truly matters, you begin to see results. These results might not be immediate, but they will come. The key is to keep moving forward. Don't let setbacks or delays discourage you. Keep your eyes on the prize and stay committed to your progress. The world is full of distractions, but it's up to you to choose what you give your attention to. You can either stay caught in the cycle of mindless distractions, or you can take control of your focus and use it to drive your success. The choice is yours. But remember this, the distractions you choose to entertain today will determine the success you experience tomorrow. Cut them out, stay focused, and watch your life transform. Your goals deserve your undivided attention. Your dreams deserve the focus and energy that distractions take away. Don't let distractions steal your future. Cut them out, stay focused, and take massive action. That is the path to real progress. That is how you turn your dreams into reality. Every moment spent focusing on what matters is a moment closer to the life you desire. Make today the day you decide to cut out the distractions and take control of your future. Number 10. Push yourself harder every day and refuse to settle to achieve success. You cannot rely on comfort or complacency. It's easy to fall into a pattern of doing just enough to get by, to settle for mediocrity, and to convince yourself that you're doing well enough. But that's not how you reach greatness. Success requires an insatiable drive, an unrelenting commitment to pushing yourself every single day. It demands that you refuse to settle for less than your best. This is the truth. If you want to accomplish something extraordinary, you must continually strive to go beyond what you've already done. You must keep raising the bar, even when it feels like you've reached your limit. The comfort zone is a trap that holds you back. It's easy to get comfortable, to stay in your safe, familiar routine, and to convince yourself that you've done enough. But the moment you settle, you stop growing. You stop moving forward, and the very thing that was once a victory becomes a limitation. To achieve more, you have to push beyond the limits you've set for yourself. You have to challenge yourself to go harder, to be better, to do more than you thought possible. Pushing yourself harder every day is not just about physical endurance. It's about mental resilience. It's about refusing to let doubt or fear stop you from taking action. The greatest achievements are not won by those who are the most talented or the luckiest. They are won by those who keep pushing, even when the odds are against them. The secret to success is consistency and relentless pursuit. You must develop the discipline to keep moving forward, no matter the obstacles, and the willpower to push yourself when it feels easier to quit. You must make it a non-negotiable part of your mindset to push yourself harder every single day. It starts with understanding that you are capable of more than you realize. You have untapped potential, waiting to be unleashed. But potential alone will never get you where you want to go. Action is what matters. Action is what creates results. And it's the willingness to push beyond your comfort zone that makes all the difference. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you've given it all, that you've pushed as hard as you can. But if you are not seeing the results you want, then you haven't pushed hard enough. There is always more to give, always another gear you can shift into. The key is to not get complacent. When you think you've reached your limit, push a little harder. When it feels like you can't go any further, go one step more. That is how you build resilience. That is how you grow stronger. And that is how you create the life you want. You will face resistance. You will face challenges. There will be days when you feel exhausted, when you feel like giving up, when you wonder if it's all worth it. But those are the days that matter the most. Those are the moments that define your character. When you push yourself in the face of adversity, you don't just become stronger physically, you become stronger mentally and emotionally. You prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. You begin to build unshakable confidence in your ability to overcome anything. Every day is an opportunity to test your limits, to stretch your boundaries, and to grow. But this only happens when you refuse to settle for less than your best. There's a difference between being satisfied with good enough and pushing for excellence. If you're always settling, you will never experience the level of success that you're truly capable of. You have to stop thinking that you've done enough and start thinking about how you can improve, how you can challenge yourself, and how you can take things to the next level. No one achieves greatness by settling. It's not the people who do just enough who make history. It's the ones who push themselves harder every day. It's the people who are willing to sacrifice comfort for progress, who are willing to endure the pain of growth, and who are willing to push beyond their limits, that ultimately achieve what others only dream of. But this doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. It happens when you consciously make the decision to push yourself harder, to never settle, and to keep moving forward no matter what. The journey to greatness is not easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. Every time you push yourself, every time you break through a barrier, you build momentum. This momentum will carry you further than you could have ever imagined. But it all starts with a commitment to push harder today than you did yesterday. It starts with a decision to refuse to settle for anything less than your best. The more you push, the more you grow, and the more progress you make. There will be moments when you feel like quitting, when you feel like you can't go on, when the weight of your goals seems too heavy to bear. But in those moments, remember this: the people who achieve the most are the ones who keep going when it feels impossible. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who keep pushing when everyone else gives up. And if you can push through those tough moments, you will be rewarded with success beyond your wildest dreams. But pushing yourself isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's about knowing when to push and when to rest. It's about understanding that growth isn't always linear. There will be setbacks. There will be failures. But each failure is an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to come back stronger. The key is to keep moving forward, even when it feels like you're taking a step back. Trust that every challenge is preparing you for something greater. You will encounter obstacles on your journey, but your ability to push through them is what will set you apart from others. The road to success is never a straight line, and the faster you learn that, the better. You will face setbacks, roadblocks, and moments of doubt, but if you keep pushing, you will eventually break through. Every time you overcome a challenge, you build your resilience. You prove to yourself that nothing can stop you. And that kind of mental toughness will take you farther than you ever thought possible. If you are serious about reaching your goals, you must refuse to settle. You must refuse to accept mediocrity. You must commit to giving everything you've got, every single day. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who push through their limitations. They are the ones who wake up every morning with the determination to do more, to be better, and to move closer to their goals. You may not always feel motivated, and that's okay. Motivation doesn't always show up on its own. It's the habit of pushing yourself, even when you don't feel like it. That builds momentum. The more you push, the more motivated you will become, because progress is the best motivator of all. When you see the results of your hard work, when you see the improvements you've made, it will drive you to keep going. The moment you settle for less than your best is the moment you stop growing. You have to make a conscious decision every day to refuse to settle, to push yourself harder, and to keep striving for excellence. It's not easy, but it's worth it. The road to success is paved with effort, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. If you're willing to put in the work, to push yourself every day, you will achieve things you never thought possible. But you must commit to pushing harder, to never settle, and to keep moving forward. That is the path to greatness. That is the path to success.